For my text talk, I reviewed Northrop Frye's essay, Don't You Think It's Time to Start Thinking? As a Canadian titan in both literature and literary studies, Frye needs little introduction. Moreover, when I saw this text listed as an option for this assignment, I jumped at the opportunity. Yet another courageous defense of literature and of cognitive liberty generally, Frye's essay expresses a self-consciousness of its subject matter. Its allusions to Orwell's Bibliography, avowing Frye's joining a growing chorus among scholars of literature, whom advocate for literacy and free expression as means for contending authoritarianism. Recounting the continued function of language as the medium of the imagination, Frye's lesson that there is no such thing as an inarticulate idea waiting to have the right words wrapped around it, has a staying power that, quote, will never become obsolete. Although I have tried to focus on junior, locally developed, and college-streamed curricula given my weaknesses in these courses, Frye's essay still lends itself most to senior English courses such as the Grade 12 Studies in Literature course under the 2007 Ontario English curriculum for grades 11 and 12. For instance, under the Elements of Style strand of Studies in Literature, the ministry requires that by the end of the course, students can identify various elements of style used in texts and explain how they help communicate meaning and enhance the effectiveness of the text. One of the prompts associated with this strand reads, how does the use of an extended metaphor or analogy heighten the impact of the essay's thesis? Early in the paper, Frye insists that students need to learn that ideas do not exist until they have been incorporated into words. Until that point, you don't know whether you are pregnant or just have gas on the stomach. This metaphor, in addition to evocating humor, also affirms his broader thesis regarding the importance of literacy for ideation and for harnessing one's imagination. Likewise, Frye's essay could also be leveraged toward achieving the promoting personal and social change strand. Frye has a clear call to action in this essay, and in keeping with the ministry's advice for meeting this expectation, students could write a journal entry about how this essay inspired or might inspire people to change their minds or their behavior. Similar to Neil Postman's My Graduation Speech, Frye's essay is best suited for review as the first text of a grade 12 English course, since it attempts to justify the development of critical thinking through literacy and language learning. Although I'm not a proponent of teachers repurposing their platforms for activism, teaching is never politically neutral. And it's important that educators recognize, as Robert Tierney describes, their roles in building cultural awareness, transforming cultural interactions, and spurring social action. As Frye implied, students' advocacy for their own and others' cognitive liberty usually collides with some facet of the status quo, inciting counter-revolution among those who tend to benefit from business as usual. The deliberate, free, and courageous thinking that Frye proselytizes can become a gateway for young adolescents to build confidence and agency, as affirmed by the Ontario Ministry of Education's Adolescent Literacy Guide. Relative to the course's required readings, Frye's essay lends itself most to the required texts concerning metacognition. The school effectiveness framework defines metacognition as higher-order thinking that involves active control over the cognitive processes engaged in learning. It is the process of thinking about one's own thought processes. Metacognitive activities can include planning how to approach a given learning task, evaluating progress, and monitoring comprehension. Since metacognitive capacity can prepare senior students to complete increasingly complex learning tasks, Frye's essay is likely best consulted near the beginning of a senior English course so that its insights and didactic potential can benefit students throughout the course. In keeping with Peteranetz' insights, for metacognition instruction to be effective, it should be embedded within authentic learning contexts, include instruction on the benefits of metacognition, and be ongoing. By providing metacognition instruction of strategies, metacognitive knowledge, and metacognitive skills, teachers can help students be more strategic and independent learners. Likewise, not only does Frye encourage his audience to think about thinking, but his essay also invites his reader to think about what it means to think about thinking, as in what it means to be able to do so as an autonomous practice. To conclude, Frye's Do You Think It's Time to Start Thinking is a timeless classic and a boon to any senior academic English courses reading list. As argued, it would be especially beneficial if introduced as one of the first texts of a course of study, doing double duty as a justification for the study of literature and as an introduction to metacognition. Thank you for listening.